Welcome back. More coLcast action now. HoN Tour Diamond losers bracket round of 2. QsQ coming through in the clutch 2-0 in Complexity Gaming and eliminating them from Diamond for the first time below the grand finals. Complexity taking second in HoN Tour Cycles 1 and 2. Going to end in 5th, 6th place here at the hands of QsQ in Cycle 3. And QsQ, well, they're going to try to take that momentum as they take on the two-time reigning champion, Trademark eSports here. Minuts boys, they are up. They are ready to go. And they're going to try to bring down Nova and the crew to secure third place. This is the third, fourth place match. Loser goes out in fourth. Winner goes on to the losers bracket finals to play against either TT eSports or Stay Green, whoever drops in the winners bracket finals being played right now. So it should be an awesome match all around, and I hope that you guys are as excited about it as I am, because I know that I'm absolutely stoked to get into this one. Got a few winners interviews even before the match started, and both of these teams very, very confident going into it. tdM certainly the favored team, but QsQ definitely has momentum after their recent win over Complexity. tdM on the other side, dropping into the losers bracket after being 2-0'd themselves by TT eSports. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get on into it. Blind bans coming out. We're Engineer, Wild Soul, Parasite, and Tremble. So not going to be banning the Keeper of the Forest. It's becoming a little bit less common, perhaps, to ban Keeper of the Forest. This is like 6 games in a row for me that I haven't seen a blind ban on Keeper of the Forest. Instead, going with the Tremble ban here from tdM. Do not want to allow Style to pick up that hero. Engineer being banned as Insania. Just absolutely beastly on that one. That's not going to be in either. Lockpick, though, we do have Pharaoh, Keeper of the Forest, Tempest, Bubbles, Glacius, and Ophelia. So 3 strong pushing junglers, a couple suicides, and a Glacius for support. And that is what you've got. Banning phase, we do in fact have Nova choosing to ban out Jeraziah, Fade, and Pebble. So getting rid of 2 great gankers. And then, of course, the very annoying Jeraziah. Inner Light, Protected Charm, Soul's Blessing. So annoying. On the other side, though, we do have Meraxis, along with Zephyr and Plague Rider being banned out. So saying, no, not going to lie. You get to get the bird, taking out the suicide hero there in Plague Rider. And, of course, Meraxis as well. So just saying, nope. Those aren't making it in. Picking phase, a Luna comes out first. Responded by Rally in Silhouette for Trademark eSports. Rally, I mean, you even heard Insania talking about it in the pregame interview. Just a good hero, and they're very comfortable running Rally in the suicide, or even there in the middle lane if needed to be. So a versatile hero that tdM likes to pick up. And of course, Silhouette, Noob G's signature hero. Just so strong once he gets those Ghost Marchers, the Nullstone, the Portal Key. Such a good player-hero combination. On the other side, though, QsQ goes with Draconis Bombardier. So going gank heavy with the Bombardier, a hero that we don't see very often, but that has a ton of burst potential and a lot of great gank setups. So with that global ultimate and combination with Luna's red power throw, can hit any part of the map and just do a ton of damage with those 2 heroes. It'd be even more interesting to see them pick up another global ultimate. I don't even know what else you would do. Maybe Thunderbringer. I know I've seen the QsQ 777 team running that lately, but wouldn't that be something? Keeper of the Forest comes out first in the lockpick for QsQ, and, well, tdM taking their time, eventually round out their team with Demented Shaman from the normal pick, and then Ophelia Pharaoh from Lock. So going to be doing something a little bit different. Most likely going to run Limp in the middle lane along with Demented Shaman. Silhouette in the short lane, while Pharaoh, being played by Zai, does the suicide. Ophelia going to be in the safe jungle most likely. Other possibility would be the offensive tri-lane in the bottom with Ophelia manning up Rally and Demented Shaman also down there in the long lane, and Pharaoh soloing mid. So we'll see. One of those 2 most likely going to be the case as QsQ finishes out their team with Tempest. So grabbing Male's Tempest right there. Yonosum fan going to be playing that Suicide Keeper, and we're going into the game, guys. Hope that you're excited. You should be. QsQ taking on Trademark eSports here for the right to go to the top 3 in Diamond Cycle number 3. As I mentioned, QsQ, they're going to be running the Keeper of the Forest Suicide. Tempest going to be in the safe jungle. Bombardier most likely going to be mid with Draconis. But Draconis actually purchasing items to go mid himself. Let's take a look at Bombardier. Neither of them getting a Guardian Ring, which is very strange. Normally you do see the Guardian Ring very, very early on in that short lane solo. You want to have lane control. You want to be able to get the additional damage, the armor, the mana regen that item does afford you. But in this case, not going to be going for that immediately. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these heroes does in fact move. I think Draconis is just a little bit better suited to this bottom lane. They also kind of have to worry about the possibility of that tri-lane. Bombardier will be able to get some long-range last hits with that Boom Dust, but he's also going to be very, very immobile down there if there is a long-lane tri-lane. He will crush a Suicide Pharaoh, but we'll have to see. It's really going to matter a lot, as Pharaoh has actually been stacked a ton of regen. He was able to go for Iron Buckler, Logger's Hatchet, double Miner Totems, and then Minuts donates him Blight Stones, which is what Runes of the Blight were just renamed. Interesting that they just changed that around for no apparent reason after 3 years. Probably close to 4 years now that those have been named that. So a little bit interesting. And a health potion. So Pharaoh should actually have a very good time down here, even against somebody like the Bombardier, just by virtue of having 800 gold to start, essentially. And Insania going to try to get down there and drop the ward ASAP. Minuts on Ophelia going to lane with just 4 Miner Totems. No regen whatsoever. No other stats. And that's going to be kind of interesting, as Miner Totems, Rally, those aren't... Do those work? They do actually work. Interesting. Wait, I think they work, don't they? It's saying that it's disabled, but maybe they don't work. Hold on, I gotta take a look now. Dang, I can't tell. I don't know if they work. I think he's just holding them off the courier and just bringing Demented Shaman over. In fact, that's exactly what's going on. I'm like weirding myself out right there, trying to decide if they work or not, but no, they don't. Something like a Scarab or a Trinket of Restoration, some of those lower end health regen, mana regen items, even Life Tube and Mana Tube, those will work, but not a Miner Totem. So I was like going crazy there for a second. In the end, Bombardier is going to solo short, maybe a little bit afraid of that offensive tri-lane, and you can definitely tell QsQ is afraid of that offensive tri-lane, setting up all their wards here in the bottom lane. Instead, they're going to be met here in the middle lane with Demented Shaman Rally going up against a Luna Draconis. And Nova up in front wants to be able to put out some harass, but as soon as he sees the lane, he falls back immediately. Thought that it was perhaps going to be a Pharaoh down there, or a Pharaoh there in the middle lane. I think a lot of that came from Demented Shaman coming into the jungle to place that ward. Thought that that's what was going to happen. So lane setup here, Pharaoh's going to do pretty well with all this stacked regen, because he should be able to outlast hit Bombardier, provided that he does have enough regen. If he's able to get that early enough bottle or a life tube, whatever he's going to be going for, then he should be alright. But already Style doing a fantastic job on Bombardier, putting out a ton of harassment early, and making sure that Pharaoh has to burn that regen very, very quickly. And once Pharaoh's out of regen, then this lane is going to be very, very rough times for him. And Style just not relenting right now, completely unrelenting. Going to be forcing out over half the regen from Pharaoh very quickly, very, very quickly. And, well, Zai, the superstar 15-year-old from Sweden, falling behind there early in the bottom lane. We'll see what he has to do to correct. Keeper of the Forest, being played by Jonas Fan, is now going to start to take a lot of pressure here from all these creeps. But Noob G going to be able to get some good denies on them. So well played there. Using that Ring of the Teacher, cycling it on and off to actually get better last hits and make sure that his opponent is not getting last hits. And so as a result, Jonas Fan looks like he missed about 70% of those creeps, only hitting 3 from what I saw, out of what appeared to have been 10 or more at some point. Male trying to run away here from Demented Shaman, but DS looking to cut this tree and actually go in there to try to harass his opponent. If he'd been able to cut that tree a little bit earlier, he very well may have scored an early first blood onto Tempest. Nova looking for a cutoff, though. Not going to find it. Double damage. Demented Shaman, just a little bit too strong. Give me the Force, now level 4, actually getting additional levels compared to his opponent. He's going to need to pull the lane back, though. This lane is going to start to push perhaps a little bit in favor of Silhouette here in a moment, as she's doing a good job denying back her wave as best as possible. Needs to kill that archer, though. There we go. And so, well, with the use of that Death Lotus, you put out a lot of pressure onto Keeper the Forest, but you push your lane up a lot. And that's kind of the problem with heroes like Draconis and Silhouette, is they both, in order to put out pressure, they do push the lane quite a bit. So that's a little unfortunate as Draconis uses that Dragon Flame in the middle lane, just putting a little bit of pressure out of his own. As you can see back here, though, Zai, he's got 600 gold. I think he'll probably purchase a bottle in just a moment here and then start to camp those bottom runes. But he really is kind of struggling down here. 176 gold per minute, 9-0. But Bombardier with the early boots, actually just going to man up, and somebody's going to die down here. There's the sticky bomb on top of Pharaoh, and Zai is crazy. I have absolutely no clue what Zai was trying to do right there. But he gives up an early first blood, and that's not what you want to have happen. Minotaur stun coming out here from Aluna. She's going to take a lot of damage from auto attacks. The Ophelia's Judgment is available very soon. Well, it's available now, but does she want to use it? It's level 2. Will she be able to get the nuke off? No, not going to be able to in the end. As Hasted Demented Shaman's going to try to connect onto Tempest right here. Level 2 Glacial Blast going to be able to stun him for now. And Bombardier trying to get in position. They're trying to get over to the creeps. And Demented Shaman going to man up. Demented Shaman might be in some trouble, though. If that sticky bomb had landed, he would have been able to get the kill on DS. In the end, though, Tempest just going to walk away. Hasted Demented Shaman coming back in, looking for Tempest once more. Or perhaps even for that courier. No, Demented Shaman will try to close the distance. There's the Entangling Root, breaking the potion on Tempest. And DS walks right into some creeps as well. Insania doing a great job thus far. As well, he's going to take a sticky bomb right here. Tormented Soul going to come out, though, as Zai tries to protect his teammate. So Insania doing a lot of roaming, but still in the middle, limp. 22-1 as opposed to the 22-7 of Draconis. So holding his own, even though his teammate is off roaming quite a bit. Demented Shaman will make his way back to the middle lane momentarily. In the top lane, Silhouette has picked up a nice early life tube, which is kind of interesting. You typically see life tube in a matchup like against, say, a Bubbles. But against a Keeper of the Forest, you don't always see it. Normally, you might see early Steam Boots, or even in Noob G's case, early Ghost Marchers, but not going to be going for that one just yet. Keeper of the Forest is going to try to man up right here. There's the Bombardier ultimate, but Silhouette is going to be able to survive. Hits that health potion. It's going to get shot off here in a moment. No, not going to get shot off, actually. It was almost good. Needed one more auto attack there from Yonisum Fan, but he did back off just a little bit too early. Didn't want to get hit with the tree grapple and possibly turned around upon. It was a nice try, though. Bombardier looking for perhaps another sticky bomb and a kill. As Demented Shaman picks up his second double damage, 2 double damages in a haste. Going to be going on Draconis right here. Level 6 rally. They might go for the dive. No, not going to be going in just yet. Yonisum Fan in the top lane. 21-3 CS as opposed to the 33-4 Silhouette. So Noob G definitely winning this lane. With Ophelia possibly coming over to start looking for a gank or a push. Could be winning it a little bit more momentarily. Silhouette doing some creep cutting here, using the Death Lotus to clean up these creeps as the Ring of the Teachers activated. And Keeper of the Forest summons some Tree Dogs to hopefully deter this push just slightly. His ultimate is up in about 40 seconds. The Catman Champion drops his stomp. And this tower is going to go down. It's now a matter of Keeper of the Forest getting the deny or not. And he's going to go for it. Not going to be able to get it, though. Keeper of the Forest now in some trouble, perhaps. No. Will be able to get away with the use of that Nature's Veil. Hits his mana and health potions. It will be just fine. Style continuing to dominate this bottom lane, it appears. 280 gold per minute as he is the top on his team. Currently looking at 29 and 11 in terms of creep score. Going to be close to 2 levels up on Pharaoh, who's 20 and 4. So Zai's done a pretty good job still of finding the farm. But certainly not looking great for him down there. 8 minutes into the game, we have a 1,000 gold lead for tdM. Just it looks like Limp just out farming in the middle lane where Nox is not quite finding it. As the Wrath of Pharaoh comes in, there's the Elemental Void, and Pharaoh is going to go down. Male picks up the last hit, even turning those elementals and making sure that they're going to be able to start a tower push here momentarily. You'd have the elementals focus right at the creeps. There you go. So that they will get replicating here relatively soon. If we can get a full replication off, which not going to be possible. There's 4 replicating. Might be able to get that tower pushed down. But Bombardier has fallen back. Airstrike available once more, so if there's another gank set up, could be a possibility to use that and try to get a kill with it. Rally finishes up some early steam boots here in the middle lane as the Root does come out onto Silhouette. This time, the airstrike is going to connect, and Silhouette goes down. So good job. I mean, last time the airstrike connected as well for Style, but didn't have enough damage to put out. The airstrike connects, the auto attacks are there, and the sticky bomb finishes him off. Yonasom Fan picks up the last hit, and Noob G knocked back down to an even 300 gold per minute, tied with both Minuts and Limp for top farm on their team. Style, on the other hand, with that kill, bringing him to 1-0-2. He takes the top farm in the game slot, while Male falling right behind him at 299. This game's getting pretty even, and QsQ even in a little bit of a better position right now, as Pharaoh is definitely not in a good position. Pharaoh uses the Wrath of the Pharaoh to try to get over there. Going to be able to pick up Tempest. Going to try to actually force a kill here, and we'll see what's actually going to go on. Bombardier turning around perhaps a little bit, as Pharaoh is trying to escape. He might actually be able to get to the safety of his teammates, and a nice wall of mummies. Oh, the Dragon Flame just not in time, and he does escape, so... a little bit of an odd play right there, but in the end, Zai able to find safety in the arms of his teammates, his brothers. No actual brothers on the tdM team. No Friedman brothers. And, of course, Limp, the brother of Chessie, but Chessie's not playing in this game. Complexity just was eliminated. So, that's what's going on with the fraternal situation in this game. Bottom tower goes down in favor of QsQ, actually giving them a pretty moderate gold and experience lead here at 10 minutes in, and they're going to be looking for 2. With Tempest and Keeper of the Forest on the same team, along with Dragon and a Luna, I really do have to say that I liked tdM's team, but I think QsQ has the significantly stronger team. Anytime you're able to get Keeper of the Forest and Tempest on the same team, you're going to perhaps have issues. tdM almost gave this to them, allowing them to keep Keeper of the Forest in with that first pick, and then ended up taking Ophelia and oh man, I can't remember now. It must have been Ophelia and Pharaoh, with their 2 lockpicks, giving away the Tempest, which is a little bit unfortunate. Along with that Dragon and Bombardier and even a Luna, I mean, you've got a lot of big damage potentials. Another pause is going to be coming out here. Perhaps Insania lagging a little bit. Wants to try to clear that up. Male on Tempest going the Ring of Sorcery route into Steam Boots. Going to have a lot of sustained push there as Yonasom Fan pushing 300 gold per minute himself, has picked up a nice early Pickled Brain in addition to his boots, Ring of the Teacher. I suspect that this courier is actually He's got to have the Talisman as the Exile in his base already, but I don't actually see it yet, so we will see. Nox on Draconis, however, he's finished up his Steam Boots and sitting at 313 gold per minute now in a pretty healthy position after that early tower push. He is bringing out the Life Tube, going to start to work on the Null Stone. That's going to help him survive greatly against something like the Entangling Root or the Ophelia's Judgment, or Nature's, what is it, Nature's Wrath? There we go. I was going to say Nature's Presence, but that's something different. Nature's Wrath, indeed, as now a pause coming out from the Legion side. So once again, going to be going into a series of pauses. A little bit unfortunate. I know it's not always the most fun to watch, but players do want to get things sorted out and, of course, have the highest level of competition in these games. So you got to respect their well, their right to pause and try to get their technical issues sorted whenever they do arise. Going to be interesting to see what Bombardier goes for. He has picked up nice early Ghost Marchers, as both of these teams really are apt to do. Style really does like his Ghost Marchers, as Noob G does. Even Limp sometimes going for Ghost Marchers on some odd heroes, but yeah, going with the Ghost Marchers on Bombardier, a hero that you really do want to have good positioning on. And a hero that you really, you're able to chase pretty well with Bombardier. A lot of times you do see a Tablet of Command and a Storm Spirit coming out on him, giving you that additional push factor with the tablet and the movement speed from Storm Spirit, or even the range to just actually try to close out the distance, hit that Storm Spirit, and then be able to just whisk somebody into the air, drop the sticky bomb on top of where they're going to come down. Pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy if you ask me. But Keeper of the Forest does finish up that mana ring, so double mana rings now for this team, and that's going to be a very healthy position for them to try to push the last 4 towers here, both going down in the bottom lane, and the QsQ team going to have a pretty comfortable pushing strategy here in the early game, while Draconis is going to be able to farm, starting to work on some of these triple stacks. And even without Draconis, their 4 other players should be able to push very effectively. They need to be a little bit wary about falling behind in levels. So I'm going to point out right now they're in an 800 experience lead. But as they start to pub train here and knock down these towers, you're going to have somebody farming in both of the lanes that they're not pushing until the very last minute here. And that's going to give a little bit of experience as a... Wow, Nova gets counter-warded immediately. That is so unfortunate. The Rev Ward goes down, but that Rev Ward actually covers to right about here. So it's a great ward for anything in there. So Ophelia is looking to actually finish off a errant minion. And in the end, QsQ will fall back just a little bit. Don't want to have to tango with that just yet. Draconis has been farming for the time being. Not farming triple stacks, though. A couple of double stacks just interspersed with the standard creep camps. And once again, I mean, look at the experience. It's going to be going back up here in favor of tdM momentarily. So you're running on a clock when you're trying to push these towers down. You got to do it in an effective enough manner that you're not going to fall behind. As the root comes out on Demented Shaman, using the Bombardier ult as well. That's a lot of ults being used right there just for the kill on Demented Shaman. A level 5 DS. He's up in like literally 10 seconds. And now QsQ has blown their load early. They can't push this tower because they can't team fight. Not without Draconis at least. And so they're going to have to back off. In fact, might even get caught out right here. No, not going to get caught just yet. But definitely unfortunate. In my opinion, a waste of cooldowns. I think that they should have just forced the fight up there, taken the tower. But in the end, they get the kill. They back out. They remain 4-0. And now they're starting to farm the middle and the bottom lanes safely. Keeper of the Forest even starting to work on some Ancients. I feel that he should have just waited to stack those, but Insania also does have a ward aside. Is in the middle lane. Bombardier in some trouble perhaps. So is Tempest, with the Glacial Blast going to be able to save them from now. The Hasted Rally with a Portal Key taking some pressure here. Elemental Void not going to be used just yet. Well, Tempest not going to be able to close the distance. The Portal Key will allow Rally to escape. So QsQ here in the early game, they've got a good strategy. They've got a good team. And I want to say they have the experience to actually, not like in-game experience, not levels, like the actual team-based experience to be able to withstand the long games that these are going to be against tdM, to come out of a 2.5-hour long series against Complexity, 2 back-to-back hour and 10-minute games, and to come out and try to really bring it to tdM. But I also feel that Trademark is so patient, and that they strategically just do not make very many mistakes. They might get out-drafted, which in this case I believe that they were, but strategically speaking, they make very few mistakes. They might have a player out of position, but they almost never push when they shouldn't. They almost never play passive when they shouldn't. They just do everything at the correct time and do it better than pretty much anybody else. And that's what allows them to really maintain in these games, even when they might not have the best of starts on some heroes, even when they might have been outcrafted. Push coming in once again up here in the top lane as Bombardier and Keeper of the Forest will clean up that creep wave easily with the Sticky Bomb and Boom Dust. Pharaoh with the TP on him is going to start to TP up and might look for a Wrath of the Pharaoh. Does trip the Invis as well. And Keeper of the Forest started to port on out. I think they were actually looking to port bottom. I guess it was Bombardier that actually did port home. He has finished up that tablet of command that we talked about a little bit earlier. Also very nice to have against Pharaoh. Keeper still just kind of hanging out around the trees, soaking up some experience here. It's not necessarily the worst thing to do. Bottom tower going down in favor of Trademark eSports, as Keeper's starting to put some pressure onto these creeps, onto Silhouette perhaps. No, I'm not going to be doing that just yet, but Style continues to farm well. As int carries go, Bombardier can actually farm just as fast or faster than almost any other int carry out there. Perhaps contending with somebody like Defiler, contending with somebody like Wretched Hag. But as you can already tell here at 74 CS, Style looking pretty good at 17 minutes into the game, especially since he's been moving around, trying to be active. 2-0 and 2, responsible for all of the kills in the game thus far. And as he starts to pick up some mana regen items, which I would expect is going to be his next item, you can get rid of a Pretender's Crown or a Minor Totem and pick up something like a Mana Tube, or perhaps something like a Ring of Sorcery. Does have the money to actually finish up a Ring of Sorcery, or get pretty well started toward a Storm Spirit, which I really do like that item as well. Silhouette's finished up her Nullstone. On the other side, though, Draconis, I believe, is about 300 away, so farming very similarly. 400 gold per minute for Noob G, as opposed to the 360 of Nox on the Dragon. Congor attempt going on here for tdM, and, well, it's gonna happen. Pharaoh just enables them to do it so easily, and Commanded Shaman keeping them up. Ophelia minions in there for some DPS, and, well, Token of Life going to go to Pharaoh. Interesting. I would have much preferred it to be on Silhouette or even Rally. As TPs are coming in here at the top lane, Pharaoh activating Dust and does spot out Keeper of the Forest. Yonasim fan going to be in some trouble. Hellfire being activated, and there's the Wall of Mummies as well. Don't blow your ult here, Yonasim fan. Just die. Just die like a man. There you go. He does indeed just die like a man. He grins and bears it as he becomes one with the earth. But I would have been actually very mad there if he had blown his ult, as I see Keeper of the Forest and Tempest do sometimes, blowing their ult right before they die, and it's like, no, that's a big cooldown. You want to save that so you can take the next team fight and defend or push. But good job there by Yonasim fan, getting caught out, but it was a great response by Zai to activate that Dust and then use the Tormented Soul to scout. Legion team, by pushing that tower, still maintains their gold lead, and looking to push the middle tower as well, but they have fallen significantly behind now in terms of experience, 2,600 experience, and this is what I'm talking about. Your Dragon just can't contend with the experience of the other team when they have Rally and Silhouette farming, or Rally and Pharaoh farming, or you know, just more than one person farming. If Dragon's the only one farming and there's no stacks for him, he's going to fall behind. But middle tower, perhaps where tdM is looking to make a stand. They do have Token of Life on Pharaoh, so he can get pretty aggressive here. Level 12 Pharaoh. The tower does go down. There's the route onto Pharaoh with the Token of Life. A bad engagement here. Pharaoh is actually going to go home, and tdM needs to be able to actually capitalize on this. They don't need to. QsQ needs to get out of there, though. They do not want to have anything to do with that fight, and a huge play right there from Mynuts, being able to get the judgment off on him, and then the Compel actually coming out right there from Rally, actually helping Pharaoh out immensely. That combination together does kind of work out pretty well. Normally, as Pharaoh, you put yourself in those mummies and you're trapped in there. But throw a Compel on, and not only are you going to be able to stun the enemy, but you're going to be able to get out of there safely. And Mali might be in some trouble right here. Invisible Rally. No, Mali does fall back just in time. Don't know exactly how he saw that, as the Elemental Replicates are going to make their way toward middle lane and try to delay the push that tdM is working on right now. Luna trying to teleport on out of there will succeed right before Insania gets there to put up an entangling route. The late game potential here is really there for QsQ, so I think that they are still in a good position. They've got a small gold lead. They're behind by a bit in terms of experience, but as long as Draconis is getting farmed, which 429 gold per minute on Dragon, and as long as he doesn't get caught out, they're going to be okay. But here's the catch out right here. Compel's going to miss. Needs some support, though. TP is going to be coming in, and this is going to become a big team fight right here. Invis onto Draconis. Rally taking a lot of pressure right now, and, well, there's the wall of mummies. Luna getting out of there. Luna falls to a Tormented Soul. Rally goes down at the hands of the Dragon. Dragon Flame going to go out onto Silhouette, as the Elemental Void catches Silhouette as well. Maybe going to be going down. Bombardment going to be able to take out Ophelia and Pharaoh. Silhouette going to fall to Dragon. Token of Life going to bring Pharaoh back up, but he's hit by the bombardment right there. The airstrike was what was used earlier, and Pharaoh will go down. Root even being used at the end, and Demented Shaman, the only one to survive. He's going to try to get out of there with his Striders, but all 5 players still up. In fact, Nova did go down in the middle of that, but only level 6. He's going to be able to come back up right away, and now a reverse tower push here for the QsQ team. They're going to look instead to try to push out the middle lane. And with a 5,000 golden experience lead at 22 minutes in, they're looking pretty solid. Keeper of the Forest leading the way. He's got money for a portal key. If he chooses to pick one up soon, that would significantly help with the initiation problem that the Legion team somewhat has. No typical strength initiator like a Meraxis, like a Magnus, a Pebbles, something like that. I mean, even your Pharaoh or your Rally, those are great initiators as well. But Keeper of the Forest is really the only thing that they have. As the QsQ team has not done a good job of stacking Ancients. I'm going to tell you that right now. They've done a good job of killing their Ancients. They have not had really stacks at all in terms of their Ancients. And that really comes down to a lot of the kind of pub training around that they're doing, running for Protect 1 or for Distract 1. Trying to make sure that Draconis is able to get the farm that he's looking for while maintaining some semblance of aggression on the map, some map control by taking down those early towers. And here at 24 minutes in, they've done a good job. Only 1 tower remaining. But if your supports are out trying to help push, then they're not stacking your jungle, they're not stacking the Ancients, and Draconis' farm will suffer a bit for that. Still managing 459 gold per minute with a Nullstone, and, well, just 6 minutes later, finishing up the Shrunken Head. So a very good position to be in, going to start to work toward that Whispering Helm and perhaps something like a Savage Mace here relatively soon. And definitely going to be looking to get that farm in the middle lane as we track Nox all the way over there. He says, creeps. Creeps! Gonna use the Dragon Flame, and there it is. Only getting 2 out of those, like, 9 creeps, though. A little bit unfortunate there. You want to be able to get more than that. Oh, I just knocked something off my desk. I don't know what it was. His Rally might use the Compel. Yeah, he uses it to get a little bit of a stun. Oh, I think that was a case screw. Hold on, I gotta get that before I forget about it and lose it forever. Sorry guys, I took the fan off of my, or the side panel off of my case a few days ago, and had the case screws just kind of hanging out here on my desk. Knocked it over. But got it now. Crisis averted. I will not lose that some BZ. Portal key coming out now to Jonas some fan with still another 1,600 gold saved up. He's in a good position to be able to start working on something like a Soul's Bulwark or perhaps even a Barrier Idol. Speaking of Barrier Idols, on the other side, Ophelia is getting close to hers. Looks to be about 200 gold away, and that's going to be nice to deal with the magic damage from Tempest, Tree, Bombardier, Luna. I mean, even Draconis has a significant amount of magic damage, but double damage. Draconis, 20 seconds left. This tower will go down, and Trademark doing the correct thing, trying to trade the tower rather than defend it. Know that there's zero chance of them defending it, but it's going to really tell right here. Trademark actually not going to be able to trade anything. Trying to push up the other lanes, but just not able to in time. Now starting to maybe make a little bit of push onto the base tower. Tempest with his portal key and about halfway to his shrunken head. A little bit more than halfway for sure. Storm Spirit on Bombardier as well. So he does go that highly mobile mana regeneration based route. And Keeper of the Forest picks up a Soul's Bulwark. So going to be able to use that offensively to get the push going. Most likely going to bide their time, resource control their opponents like they're doing right here. Try to steal some Ancients and wait until Congor is up. I believe that Kong should be up in about another 2 or 3 minutes. And once that's up, they're going to try to outposition their opponents by using pushed up lanes and hope that tdM gets a little bit out of position and that they're able to take an easy Congor, grab the token for Draconis, and try to push a set of racks. That's the game plan here from QsQ. Now it's going to come down to, are they able to execute? Well, there's a Wrath of the Pharaoh onto Bombardier right here. Stormshare coming in. There's the Elemental Void, interrupted though by the Hellfire, and Lit perhaps into trouble. There's the root onto 2. The Sticky Bomb going to be coming out. Bombardment. Where's the aerial bombardment? Not going to be using it just yet. Is it on? Why didn't he use it? I don't quite understand right there, as Rally should have been dead. But, oh, perhaps didn't have enough mana. Oh, it looks like he had plenty of mana. I don't know. Maybe he got that mana afterward. The Ring of Teacher is on cooldown from Keeper of the Forest, but I really do feel that if the aerial bombardment had been used right there, the airstrike, excuse me, that Rally would have died. And it's so unfortunate right there from Malay to actually go in and get immediately interrupted by that Hellfire. Got to be careful when you're going in on a Pharaoh. With that Tempest cooldown unavailable for now, another 2.5 minutes, any kind of Congor attempt is going to be a lot safer for Trademark. And bringing in the Courier with the Eye, going to get some counter-warding vision and make sure that the Courier is in fact going to be able to spot any vision that's in the Kong pit. Pharaoh perhaps looking to initiate, knowing that Root and Elemental Void are down. Congor is going to be back up momentarily, and the Legion team has to be able to get some vision around there, or they're going to have to be able to use these trees to actually get in there. Make sure that they're not going to get caught off guard by any kind of Congor attempt. 29 minutes into the game, QsQ still retains their substantial gold advantage and moderate experience advantage. I mean, really, both of them are pretty moderate. They're pretty minor, in fact. They do have the better late game composition, and now that Congor is up, should be an easy pick here for tdM to actually bring this down, get another token, this time most likely going to be on Silhouette, as G does make his way on over. Congor dropping relatively slowly though, and the Legion team not in any hurry to give this one up. Root is available. They're going to walk right by a Ward of Sight. Are they going to be able to get everybody out of there, perhaps? Getting stunned down is Zion Pharaoh. There's the Compel onto Draconis. Needs to be able to activate that Shrunken Head. Root going to be coming in. There's the Shrunken Head. Cataclysmic Assault. Pounding in damage. Diminished Shaman taking a lot in the back. Another Compel onto Draconis. Not going to be able to get him. Rally goes down, though. The airstrike goes out as well, and Pharaoh will take the fall. The Root's going to be coming in onto Draconis, and Draconis will be able to survive for now. Shadow going to be going down, and the Blazing Flight goes out. Death Lotus misses. Draconis able to escape for now. There's the Tree Grapple, and still wet in some trouble. Going to have to use that Sticky Bomb, and Noob G Well, there he goes. He will, in fact, go down. Demented Shaman perhaps in some trouble as well. There's the tree minions trying to get the block onto him. And Tree has Portal Key available in 3 seconds. Non-striding Demented Shaman. There's the attacks. The body block attempted. Not going to be able to succeed, though. And, well, just like that, a big 3-for-0 trade for the QsQ team. Shrunken Head finished up on Tempest, so the only thing that they're going to have to break that is going to be those Skeleton Kings from Ophelia, as well as the Wrath of the Pharaoh ultimate. Ophelia making her way up middle lane. She walked right by this Ward of Sight, though, and needs to be kind of careful that she doesn't actually get initiated on, as Congor is taking a lot of pressure, but the tdM team all back up. A buyout on Noob G. There's the Portal Key in the Compel. Nice Storm Spirit, though, and Bombardier will be able to survive for now. Dragon Flame coming out. There's the Emerald Lightning, and the auto attack starting to come out. Wrath of the Pharaoh onto Draconis in the background. Gonna be able to get the Mummy Wall up. There's the big Elemental Void, though not any follow-up damage. And Draconis trying to man up for now. He's gonna be able to get the armor and get away. Mala in some serious trouble, though. He takes the Ophelia's Judgment, and there's the Portal Key with the Death Lotus. The Congor now going to be in the hands of tdM once more. And QsQ, they... oh, man. That buyback really did just screw them up. They're still up 9,500 gold, 7,500 experience, and in a good position, as they need to make sure that nothing was going to get snagged, as in the last game, Peter Pandem, or Franzi, actually doing a fantastic job of hiding up here on the high ground, like right in this position on Glacius, and just said, hey, I've got a clear auto attack path, and sniped the token, killed the token of life before Style on Zephyr was able to actually pick it up. So unfortunate for him, for sure. With another token of life, this time on Silhouette. Looks like tdM's going to try to push in, know that they need to make something happen. They need to take a Rax or a team fight or something in order to make this game winnable. Draconis in the front lines has finished up his... well, actually, there's a Storm Spirit onto a Luna, and the Shadow going to have to be used immediately there. So Silhouette will fall back. Oh, well, actually, there's a root coming in onto 3 players. Ophelia in the front line. She's going to drop so fast. Bound Eye hits the ground. Cataclysmic Assault. Shrunken Head. Dragon trying to get in there. Hits the wall of mummies, though, and will not be able to continue pressing any further. So with Ophelia down and the Bound Eye gone, looks like the QsQ team's going to be able to do some counter warding of their own and perhaps start to put pressure on the base. Middle tower at 1,600 full life. Top tower is taking some pressure from some ballistas, and bottom tower taking a little bit of pressure from the last team fight. Silhouette needs to be careful, has the Portal Key, though, and hits those Ghost Marchers, able to easily get on out of there. And so QsQ instead opting to go for a little bit of resource management right now instead of another push, opting to try to establish some map control and take their opponent's jungle. Need to get to some of these wards, though. That one's irrelevant for now. Need to be able to unblock their own camp, and taking this one out would be great, but overall, there's not a whole lot of wards that are going to be left in about another minute here from tdM. Having these 2 wards right here, they haven't really been too instrumental. As Wrath of the Pharaoh comes out onto Draconis, he's taking a lot of damage. Push stick comes in right there. Meteor going to try to block the path, and everyone's just trying to get out of there. Male in the front lines, he's going to go down. Luna being played by Nova is perhaps in some trouble as well. Everybody else is going to be able to get out of there, though. So Male even perhaps showing them himself, sacrificing his own life to make sure the rest of the team was able to get out of there, as Tormented Soul will spot out Nova, giving a couple more kills to Noob G. Just like that, he's up to 431 gold per minute once more. 3-3-2, and making up a little bit for the buyback that he did have to use about 6 minutes ago. Even though this has been a relatively killless game, not killless, but there hasn't been a ton of kills in this game. Only 17 at 34 minutes. It still has seemed to be kind of an action-packed game. Lots of potential kills, lots of potential team fights, lots of positioning going on. Insania once again using this Ward of Sight, and the Bound Eye from Keep of the Forest cleans that one up only about 30 seconds into its new life. The defensive tower up in the top lane. Need the Glyph. Not going to have the Glyph available, and Silhouette will just use her Shadow. Going to start to actually attack a little bit right there, as Keep of the Forest says, no escape. No escape for you, Noob G's Shadow. Style picks up a Blessed Orb, going to be starting to work toward that Shrunken Head or excuse me, not Shrunken Head, Coldra's Sheepstick here eventually. Other possibility would be a Frostwolf Skull. I kind of doubt that. If Grimoire Power was available, I would think that he maybe would be going for that. But yeah, definitely think that it's going to be for that Sheepstick. Just saw a glowstone picked up by Pharaoh as he sold it. No, he did move things around. So he's going to be going for a Staff of the Masters. Going to want to be able to get some good initiations here in these team fights, and frequent use of that Pharaoh ultimate down to 20 seconds rather than 40, and the ability to hook to his teammates, able to get himself out of some sticky situations. Ophelia has finally finished up her Burial in addition to her Abyssal Skull. Insania has picked up a Bound to Eye for him to hold, as Insania's broke as a joke. Really just sitting on Strider's Power Supply and Mystic Vestments. On the other side, Steam Boots Bracer Mystic Vestments for Nova, so doing a little bit better over there, but perhaps has had a little bit of help from his team, I'm not quite sure. Well, I'm getting very close to actually finishing up his Sheepstick here. In fact, he does have enough money for it. I think he's probably saving up for buybacks, though, knowing that he is a pretty integral part to his team's defense. Perhaps, no, he does finish up that Sheepstick. So make his way to town right now, and being able to get the Sheepstick out onto a hero like Rally, or even perhaps Pharaoh or Ophelia, and get the pick on them before they're able to get many of their skills off is going to be very, very nice for QsQ. Silhouette has a minute 45 left on her token as the middle tower does go down. Golden Experience lead still moderately in favor of QsQ as the dust goes out, catching Keeper of the Forest. He blinks away though, so a nice job from Demented Shaman. Tormented Soul going to be go out. There's the initiation onto Draconis to the front line. Draconis taking a lot of damage. There's the Storm Sphere. Elemental Void onto 4. Root coming in. There's the Airstrike, and down goes Silhouette. She's going to be coming back up with the Token of Life. Rally and Pharaoh not going to be so much, though they both go down, and Silhouette still trying to pound out damage. Insania goes down, and Silhouette trying to escape so badly. Not going to be able to, at least not yet. Where is she? She's able to get away with the portal key, so she does make the great escape. 4 players still alive for QsQ as they take a huge team fight right there. Male's ultimate with the Keeper of the Forest ultimate. Root right there on top, and the Airstrike just cleaning up players left and right. Buyback situation is none right now for the Hellborn team. This tower is certainly going to go down. The racks perhaps going to go down as 2 players are up in about 13 seconds. Need to have Draconis on the high ground. Just kidding. She's got a Savage Mace. True Strike is available. There goes the Glyph of Fortification, and the creep's going to be detonated by that bomb very, very shortly. Going to start to work on this Rax, and by all means should be going down. You see Silhouette very, very far away, knowing she can't do anything about it. And there, she's going to be trying to go in onto Bombardier, perhaps. The Nature's Wrath going to go out, and here comes TPs from somebody like Rally. Is the QsQ team going to be able to get out of there without any further complications? Compel with the Deafening Roar onto Bombardier. There's the Shrunken Head, and they're going to try to fight this right now. Sheepstick onto Rally. Tormented Soul going to be coming out. Not going to catch anybody just yet. Pharaoh in the back lines. He does have the Wrath of the Pharaoh available. There goes Ophelia. She's going to be going down. Rally going to be coming back in. Not going to be dropping the Compel just yet. Demented Shaman gets obliterated by those Savage Mace procs, and Rally hightailing it on out of their Silhouette. Very low on HP as well, and just feeding 2 more kills to the Dragon. QsQ up 14,000 gold, 15,000 experience. Range Tracks goes down, and tdM, they told me before this game, Insania said, we weren't playing very well last weekend. We just couldn't beat TTEs. They were the better team that day. We were not going to let that happen again. We practiced hard this week. We are ready for this. Maybe not. Rally up in the front lines, trying to hold off this tower for as long as possible, but Draconis with 3,400 gold banked up is just starting to pound damage in once again. There's the Emerald Lightning going to be going out. Wrath of the Pharaoh available. There's the Compel. Seismic Slant comes in as well, but the Shrunken Head activated, turns it around. There comes the Root, and Rally's in some serious trouble. Rally goes down. Pharaoh's going to be shortly there to follow. Draconis actually does go down, and Pharaoh does survive for now. Airstrike going to be coming in. Buyback on Draconis. He purchases the post-haste. Ophelia going to go down, and the melee racks bite the dust as well. Post-haste Draconis comes in. Hasted going to try to get back up there. Finishes the ranged racks, and this could be all she wrote for tdM. Down 17,000 gold and 15,000 experience. QsQ on their way to taking game number 1, limiting their opponents to just 7 hero kills in 40 minutes. They have done a fantastic job engaging, as there's the Sheepstick going to be going out, and a nice push onto Bombardier. I really do love the use of the mobility items there on Bomb. He's done a fantastic job all game. Nova gets caught out by Wrath of the Pharaoh, trying to get the power throw off. Not going to matter, though. So Nova does go down. Not the hugest of deals by any means. And QsQ falling back, not going to overextend at this point. Do not want to give this game up when they are so far ahead right now. I want to point this out. 200 creep kills here in a moment for Style on Bombardier at 40 minutes in. That's actually a very, very good number of creep kills for an int carry to have when there's a Draconis, a Tempest, and a Keeper of the Forest in the game. Style has done a fantastic job on Bombardier all game long. He is 4-0-10. I think that this Bombardier is one of the very, very strong reasons that QsQ is about to win this game, or most likely going to walk away with this game. He's done a great job of being involved in kills, hasn't died once, and still managing to find farm wherever he can, and making sure that his team's able to get farm as well. Tempest with the Shrunken Head they've had for a while into their 1,800 gold. They're going to be looking for a kill perhaps. Nope, that's the Shadow, as TPs do come in. Not going to be using an Elemental Void or anything on it just yet. Keeper of the Forest finishes up his Refresher Stone to complement the Portal Key Skulls, Bulwark, and the Abyssal Skull that he already has, so he's farming very well, 373 gold per minute. And of course Draconis, using one of his buybacks in the last team fight, wanted to secure the set of racks there in the bottom lane. Able to secure those easily, purchase some post haste, and will be able to finish up the Shrunken Head eventually here as well. Draconis could be in some trouble. The Compel going to be coming out. Shrunken Head turns around though, and Silhouette taking some damage. Root going out, only catching Rally. Rally goes down immediately. Those Tormented Soul going to be coming out. As where's the next part of the initiation? Second Root coming out, and where is the Elemental Void? There it is, catching 2 players. Bombardier going to be trying to save Draconis, as he's going to be in some serious trouble using the tablet of command. Pharaoh will go down, as Demented Shaman will as well. GG's going to be coming out here momentarily, and that's it. QsQ takes game number 1 in this best of 3 series. The losers bracket round of 2. QsQ wants to go on to face either TTEs or SG in the losers bracket semifinals, and they are not taking no for an answer. Playing a beautiful game there in game number 1, but guys, that was well played. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can get this next game going real soon. I hope that you guys enjoyed that one. I know I surely did. We're going to be right back after a quick break. Get into game number 2 right here, right now on coLcast with me, your casting host, Beach. Before I go, huge shout out to Complexity Gaming for allowing us to be here. Check them out at complexitygaming.com, where HoN Tour is on the front page. We got a brand new HoN weekly breakdown posted over there as well. And of course, make sure to give a shout out to the sponsors Sound Blaster, Origin, QPad, PNY, Twitch, and G8 brand. Without their support, we would not be here. Guys, we'll be right back with game number 2. Don't go anywhere.